Listen. Listen with your whole chest, not just your ears. Because what I'm about to say isn't meant to feel good right now. It's meant to burn a little. It's meant to make the comfortable part of you uncomfortable. It's meant to wake up the giant that's been asleep inside you way too long. You already know the title. You already feel the truth in it. Improve yourself 1% every day, not 10%, not when I feel like it, not after the new year, not once I get my life together. 1% every single day. I'm not here to give you a cute little quote you slap on your wall and forget. I'm here to stand in front of you like I've stood in front of mirrors when nobody else was watching, when the lights were low, when the world said I was finished, and tell you how you actually win this thing called life. You win it inch by inch. You win it rep by rep. You win it page by page. You win it when nobody's clapping. You win it when nobody's watching. You win it when it feels like you're losing. And the reason most people never win is because they want the victory without the vote. Every day you get 24 hours. Every hour you get 60 minutes. Every minute you get 60 seconds. And in every one of those seconds you are voting. You vote for strength or you vote for weakness. You vote for growth or you vote for stagnation. You vote for the man/woman you're becoming or the one you're letting die. Most people vote unconsciously. They vote with the extra slice. They vote with the scroll instead of the book. They vote with "I'll start Monday." They vote with silence when they should speak. They vote with anger when they should breathe. And then they wonder why their life looks like the sum total of all those unconscious votes. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Your life today is the delayed echo of your smallest daily choices from 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. That body, delayed echo. That relationship, delayed echo. That confidence, delayed echo. That peace in your spirit, delayed echo. But here's the good news. And it's great news if you have the courage to hear it. The same mechanism that got you here can get you out. The compound curve works both ways. Neglect compounds, discipline compounds, excuses compounds, effort compounds. You don't rise by accident, you don't fall by accident. You are sculpted every day by the quiet votes nobody sees. So let's get practical. Let's talk about what 1% actually looks like when the motivation is gone, when life is heavy, when you're tired, when you're broke, when you're heartbroken, when the doubts are screaming. 1% in your body. You don't need a 2-hour gym session. Walk 300 more steps today than yesterday. Drink 1 more glass of water. Do 3 more push-ups. Hold the plank 5 seconds longer. Eat the vegetable you normally skip. Go to bed 10 minutes earlier. That's it. That's 1%. Doable on your worst day. 1% in your mind. Read 1 paragraph instead of 0. Write 1 sentence in your journal. Learn 1 new word. Question 1 thought that makes you feel small. Replace "I can't" with "I can't yet." 1 time today. 1% in your character. Say thank you 1 more time. Apologize once without excuses. Listen fully once instead of waiting to talk. Choose kindness when sarcasm would be easier. Tell the truth when a lie would be smoother. 1% in your craft. Write 1 more line. Practice 1 more scale. Edit 1 more minute. Study 1 more case. Reach out to 1 more contact. Fix 1 more bug. 1% in your faith/spirit. Sit still for 60 more seconds. Say 1 honest prayer. Help 1 person anonymously. Look at the sky and actually see it. Forgive yourself for 1 thing you keep punishing yourself over. Do you see it? None of these things feel heroic. None of them get likes. None of them make you go viral, but they are the bricks. And brick by brick, you build cathedrals or you build prisons. The choice is daily. The choice is now. I need you to feel this in your bones. The person you will be in 5 years is already being decided by the person you are willing to be today. Not tomorrow, not when life gets easier, not when the kids grow up, not when you have more money, not when you have more time. Today. And if today feels small, good. Small is where the real work lives. Because big moves impress crowds. Small moves impress time. Time is the ultimate judge. Time doesn't care about your intentions. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care about your talent. Time rewards consistency. So when you want to quit, when the voice says this isn't working, answer it back. I'm not doing this for right now. I'm doing this for right then. I'm doing this so that version of me can look back and say, he, she never quit on me. That's the pact. You and future you. You carry future you on your back every single day. Every choice either lightens the load or adds weight. Choose lighter. Choose 1%. Again and again and again. Now let me talk to the part of you that's scared. The part that thinks, what if I do this for months and nothing changes? It is changing right now, inside the cells, inside the synapses, inside the identity. The harvest is delayed. The work is immediate. Trust the delay. Trust that the compound interest of effort is mercilessly mathematical. 1.0, 1 circumflex 365, approximately equal to 37. 78 times better. You don't need 37 times better tomorrow. You need 1. 1 times better tomorrow. That's all. Then do it again and again until the math becomes your reality, until the mirror shows a stranger who terrifies the old you, until the world has no choice but to respond to the new standard you've set, until you become the proof, not the dreamer, not the talker, the proof. So get up tomorrow, not because you feel like it, but because you decided you would. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Not because anyone is watching, but because you are watching. And you made a promise to yourself, a quiet promise, a fierce promise, a non-negotiable promise, 1% better every day, no retreat, no surrender, no days off from the vote. Now go vote. Go vote right now with the next 60 seconds. Go vote with the next choice. Go vote like your future children are watching. Go vote like your past self is begging you not to let them down again. Go vote and keep voting. Every sunrise, every sunset, every breath, 1%, relentlessly, 1%, mercilessly, 1%, until the day you look back and realize the mountain you thought was impossible was climbed one stubborn, faithful, unglamorous step at a time. And you're still climbing. Keep going. The best version of you is waiting at the next 1%. So what are you going to do right now with this next 1%? Let me take you deeper now, because 1% isn't just a tactic, it's a philosophy. It's a rebellion. It's a declaration of war against average, against settling, against the slow, quiet death most people call normal life. You think the people at the top got there because they're special, because luck smiled only on them? No. They got there because at some point they looked in the mirror and said, I refuse to let mediocre be my ceiling. And then they back that refusal up with boring, repetitive, unglamorous 1% votes day after miserable day until the compound turned boring into legendary. I want you to picture something right now. Close your eyes if you have to. See yourself 5 years from today. Not the fantasy version, the real one. The one shaped by what you actually do between now and then. Two futures are already fighting for your life. Future A, you stayed comfortable. You hit snooze more than you hit the gym. You said later more than now. You chose Netflix over notebooks. You chose group chats over growth chats. You chose blame over responsibility. You chose I'm too tired over I'm too powerful to stay this small. That version of you is still scrolling in the same apartment, still bitter about the same people, still telling the same excuses, still wearing the same weight, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Future B, you chose the 1%, relentlessly, even when it felt pointless, even when results were invisible, even when friends laughed, even when family didn't understand, even when your own mind tried to sabotage you with doubt. That version of you walks differently, speaks differently, looks people in the eye differently, has shoulders that carry real weight without apology, has scars that tell stories instead of shame, has quiet confidence that doesn't need volume to be felt, has money in accounts that used to be read, has relationships built on respect instead of convenience, has peace that no storm can steal. Both futures are already casting votes right now. Tonight, in Rahim Yar Khan at 10:41 p.m. Which ballot are you slipping into the box before your head hits the pillow? I'm not asking for perfection. Perfection is a trap invented by people too scared to start. I'm asking for direction. 1% is direction. 1% is dignity. 1% is defiance. Let me speak directly to the pain points most people hide from themselves. You're tired? Good. Tired people still have 24 hours. The question is, will you spend those hours recovering from life or preparing for a bigger one? You're broke. Good. Money follows value. Become 1% more valuable tomorrow. Learn one higher leverage skill. Send one colder email. Fix one thing you've been ignoring. And the money starts chasing instead of running. Your heart is broken. Good. Pain is fertilizer if you stop eating it and start planting with it. Use the ache to fuel one more honest sentence in your journal. One more walk to clear your head. One more prayer that isn't begging but surrendering. One more act of service so you remember you still have something to give. You feel stupid compared to everyone online? Good. Comparison is the thief of momentum. Stop measuring against their highlight reel. Measure against yesterday's Ali. Did today's Ali read one more page, lift one more truth? Then you won today. Full stop. You procrastinate. Good. Procrastination is just fear wearing a lazy mask. Name the fear. Write it down. Then do the 1% thing anyway. Fear hates action more than anything. Starve it. You feel like you've wasted years? Good. Regret is rocket fuel when you stop drinking it and start burning it. Every wasted year is proof you know what it feels like to lose. Now you know what you never want to feel again. Use it. You think you're too old? Good. The older you get, the more expensive every wasted day becomes. Time compounds faster the less of it you think you have. That pressure is your advantage. Let it push you. You think you're too young? Good. You have decades to compound. Most people your age are already quitting on themselves. You can lap them before they even finish the first mile. No matter what excuse your mind is serving you right now, there is a 1% version of the next action that is available to you. Find it. Do it. Then find tomorrow's 1%. Repeat. I need you to understand something powerful. Consistency compounds character faster than talent compounds skill. Talent without discipline becomes a museum piece, beautiful, useless. Collecting dust. Discipline without talent becomes a skyscraper. Slow at first, unstoppable eventually. You don't need to be the most talented person in the room. You need to be the most stubborn person in the room. Stubborn about showing up, stubborn about improving, stubborn about refusing to let yesterday's version win. Let me give you some real-world anchors, things I've seen, things I've lived, things that prove the math. The guy who couldn't run 400 meters without stopping. 1% more distance every week. 3 years later, marathon finisher, sub 3:30. No genius genetics, just math. The woman who wrote 1 paragraph a day when her kids were screaming, 365 paragraphs, became a book. That book became a business. That business became freedom. 1 paragraph at a time. The student who learned 5 new English words every night after a 12-hour shift, driving rickshaw. 2 years later, fluent enough to land remote freelance work. Family's first passport stamps came from 5 words a night. The entrepreneur who sent 1 cold message every single day for 18 months straight. Number replies for 14 months. Then 1 yes became 3 yeses, became a company. 1 message every day. THSA aren't miracles. These are compound interest applied to human beings. You are not exempt from the law of compounding. You are subject to it every hour. So stop waiting for inspiration. Inspiration is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is gasoline. It burns fast and leaves you stranded. Habit is an engine. It runs longer the more you feed it small, consistent drops of effort. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time is when you decide it is. Your life is not waiting for permission. Your future self is not waiting for applause. Your potential is not waiting for perfect conditions. It is waiting for you to cast the next vote. So tonight, when the phone is in your hand and the scroll is calling, ask yourself, is this 1% closer to the man/woman I said I would become? If no, put it down. If yes, keep going. When the alarm goes off tomorrow and your body begs for 5 more minutes, ask yourself, am I going to vote for the version of me that's still comfortable or the version that's already unstoppable? Choose. Then get up. When the voice in your head says you're not good enough, answer it. I'm not good enough yet, but I'm 1% closer than I was yesterday. And tomorrow, I'll be 1% closer again. So keep talking. I've got work to do. That voice will get quieter, not because it disappears, but because your results get louder. Keep stacking. Keep voting. Keep climbing. The view from the top isn't given to dreamers, it's given to voters. Voters who showed up when it was dark, voters who showed up when it hurt, voters who showed up when no one cared. Voters like you right now, if you choose it. So choose it again and again and again, because 1% isn't small. 1% is everything. 1% is the difference between who you are and who you were always meant to be. Keep going, Allie. The next 1% is staring you in the face. What are you going to do with it? Listen, we've walked far enough together now, through the dark mornings when the alarm felt like a personal insult, through the nights when doubt sat heavier on your chest than any barbell ever could. Through the weeks when the mirror lied and said nothing had changed, even though every cell in your body knew better. Through the months when friends drifted because your new standards made their old comfort uncomfortable. Through the years, yes, years, when the only applause was the sound of your own heartbeat saying, one more, one more, one more. We've talked about the boat. We've talked about the math. We've talked about the mirror, the scars, the future children who will never know the version of you that almost quit. Now it's time to bring it home. Not with fireworks, not with a Hollywood ending, not with some magic moment where everything clicks and life becomes easy. No, we bring it home with quiet, ferocious finality. Because the 1% journey doesn't end, it transforms. It stops being something you do and becomes something you are. You don't try to improve anymore. You simply improve. The way a river doesn't try to flow downhill, it flows because that is what a river is. Look at your hands right now, Ali. Those hands have already cast thousands of votes. Some were for weakness, some were for distraction, some were for fear, but many, more every day, have been for courage, for discipline, for the version of you that refuses to let the story end with what if. Those hands are writing the final chapters while you're still in the middle of the book. And here is the truth. Most people never live long enough to discover. The moment you truly accept that 1% is enough is the moment you become dangerous. Dangerous to excuses, dangerous to comfort, dangerous to anyone who ever told you you can't, or you're too late, or that's just how it is. Because once you know the compound secret, once you felt it in your bones that small daily disrespect toward your potential is more destructive than any single catastrophe, there is no going back to sleep. You become awake permanently. And awake people are rare. Awake people move differently through rooms. They speak with weight behind the words. They listen like every sentence matters. They give value without keeping score. They forgive themselves without letting themselves off the hook. They look at obstacles and see only temporary furniture that can be moved. You will become one of them, not because you were chosen, not because you were special at birth, but because you chose again and again and again to vote differently when it would have been easier to vote the same. Let me paint the picture one last time. 10 years from this night in Rahim Yarkhan, you wake up not because an alarm screams, but because your body knows the rhythm now. The room is still dark, but you are not. You step outside. The air smells like possibility instead of routine. Your body is not perfect, but it is yours. Stronger, leaner, more capable than the version that once apologized for taking up space. Your mind is not free of thoughts, but the thoughts serve you now instead of enslaving you. You read, you reflect, you create, you question. Your bank account no longer screams in panic every time a bill arrives. It breathes, it grows. Because value flows toward the person who consistently increases their capacity to deliver it. Your relationships, some old ones fell away like dead leaves, and that hurt. But the ones that remain are steel wrapped in velvet. Honest, deep, reciprocal. And new ones arrive, people drawn to the quiet fire you carry. Your spirit no longer begs for permission to feel alive. It knows it is alive. It prays not out of desperation, but out of gratitude. It serves not to be seen, but because serving is what whole people do. And somewhere in the quiet moments, maybe while drinking chai on a quiet street, maybe while walking past the same canal you used to stare at with empty eyes, you will smile. Not a loud smile, not for show, a small, private, dangerous smile. The smile of a man who knows he kept every promise he made to himself when no one else was watching. The smile of someone who turns someday into every day. The smile of proof. Proof that the compound curve doesn't lie. Proof that time honors persistence more than genius. Proof that 1% repeated without fanfare can rebuild an entire life. And in that moment, you will remember this night. You will remember the voice that kept speaking when your legs wanted to quit. You will remember the decision, small, stubborn, seemingly insignificant, to put the phone down one more time, to stand up one more time, to write one more line, to breathe one more honest breath. You will remember that you didn't wait for the world to believe in you. You believed in the work, and the work believed back. That is how legends are made, not in stadiums, not on stages, not in viral moments. Legends are made in the seconds nobody films, in the reps nobody counts, in the apologies nobody hears, in the books nobody sees you finish, in the cold calls nobody answers, in the mornings nobody congratulates. That is where you are building right now, and you are not finished. You will never be finished, because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment entropy begins to pull you backward. So you keep voting. You keep choosing 1%, not because you have to prove anything to anyone else, but because you have already proven to yourself that you are worth the investment. You are worth the early mornings. You are worth the sore muscles. You are worth the lonely seasons. You are worth the delayed gratification. You are worth every uncomfortable conversation with your former self and future Ali. 10 years from now, 20, 30, he is already proud of you, not for what you've achieved yet, but for what you refuse to let die when it would have been easier to let it go. So stand up. Right now, feel your feet on the floor in Rahim Yarkhan at this midnight hour. Feel the weight of your own body already changing. Feel the pulse in your neck already strong. Feel the decision in your chest already made. Then take the next step. Not a giant leap, not a dramatic gesture. Just the next 1%. Walk to the water bottle and drink. Open the notebook and write one sentence. Do 5 push-ups against the wall. Read 1 paragraph. Send 1 message you've been avoiding. Stretch for 60 seconds longer than yesterday. Do it. Because that's what we do now. We don't wait for motivation. We manufacture it through motion. We don't wait for confidence. We earn it through evidence. We don't wait for permission. We grant it to ourselves. And we never, ever stop casting the vote. The speech doesn't end here, Ali, because you don't end. You evolve. You compound. You rise 1%. Every sunrise, every breath, every choice, forever. So go right now. Take that next 1%. I'll be right here, inside your own head, reminding you tomorrow morning, and the morning after, and the morning after that. You already chose this. Now live like it. Keep going. The best is still ahead, because you're still building it 1% at a time. Go get it.